Well, the day of reckoning is coming. There's no bullshitting around about that, and it's not pumping no fear in any shape, manner, or form. I want to actually reference something again with Deagle.com. The site Deagle.com. Over the last several years, they've been estimating the population and the GDP per person and the average wage per person in the United States to be falling dramatically, along with military strength in the USA. Now, the most recent forecasts have been an 80% reduction in population in the United States, and going from I think 50-something thousand average wages to 13,000. That may be true, but it may be an exaggeration, but I think it's going to be at least partly true because of the debt situation. The day of reckoning is coming. The day of reckoning is coming. And, it's only going to be those that are actually hardcore, freaking true to the cause that are going to survive. Not all just about silver, but every damn thing there is. Now, I'm going to go over a little bit about what Deagle said, and it's common sense. It's not the Dr. Deagle, it's the military site, Deagle.com. But it is common sense. We know about the supposed point of no return. They said is $24 trillion on the national debt. We're almost up to $19 trillion, and it's escalating higher and higher. Obama's looking to disarm us. They're also the elite are using Islam as a tool to push their population control agendas, basically to control people. Probably something that's going to backfire on because nobody actually controls Islam. That's why you even see on Google or YouTube, hey, no criticism of ISIS allowed. You know what I mean? But be that as it may, there's a whole bunch of strategies going on at the same time. And I'm going to be true to the cause all the way here because, I realize putting out fluff is probably more lucrative on these type of channels. But in the long run, the type of stuff I'm putting out on YouTube is going to survive in a garbage where, you got the gamers and you got kids opening up toys and shit like that. That's all going to go by the wayside because, it's one thing to have fun and games, like old girl here is holding a puppy. Oh, I just love this little puppy. But you know what? When it comes down to, your back's to the wall, you're facing the nitty-gritty, and that's where I think people are going to be coming up to severe hardships. I'm not playing doom and gloom here because I want to give you the reality why it's going to be going this way, not just because of the debt, but a number of common sense things that you probably don't hear on other channels. And I'm not playing doom and gloom, I'm playing reality. But like a YouTuber's being like, hey, look at a little cute puppy, some girls holding a puppy, and millions of people watch it, and somebody freaking, they make money off that shit. I'm trying to be more straight on this channel with, kind of keep it upbeat. I'm not going to play doom and gloom, but I'm going to tell you, the situation's bad, and I'm going to say that I'm going to probably out-survive these people that are just total bullshit fluff because YouTube is going to change as the situation in America changes, and people have to get down and serious and know how to survive. They ain't going to be worried about, hey, what's little kid opening up a gift, or what's the latest game, So I'm going to get down to the freaking real shit. And I'm going to tell you, the game that's going on, we got several power centers in the world. Like, we got the U.S. power center. We got the European power center. We got Russia's kind of a power center, too. Maybe not so much economically, but militarily at least. China is a power center. Japan is even a power center, and Saudi's a power center. But the way things work, why did the United States stay on top all these years? Think about it. I know that they say we celebrate our diversity, but that's not really the deal why we stay on top. It's because we had more freedoms here and more economic opportunities here that we attracted the best, Now we're starting to turn a little more into a police state, and that's not necessarily helping to attract the best. But we still are getting a lot more people from China because China is like a real police state, I mean, it's as bad as shit's starting to get over here, it ain't nowhere near like what's going on in China. But this is the caveat. And this is actually what Deagle talks about, and it makes total sense. When you have a real financial collapse in the West, what's going to happen is you're also going to have a brain drain. The big thing that's attracting people here with brains from all parts of the world, I don't care where they're from. They could be from China, Russia, Iran, Saudi, Japan, Germany, France, Italy. It don't matter. Brazil, Argentina, South Africa, Nigeria. It don't matter where they're coming from, right? What's attracting them here is economic opportunity and the opportunity to actually put their ideas into practical motion in a business model. Now, you change that situation. You make it so people don't have too much disposable income in the United States, and you get rid of the service sector economy, which is total bullshit where people are freaking getting a lot of their money from. Actually, everything in the United States is being propped up by Fed shenanigans. The markets are all artificial. And the second leg down is coming. Second leg down is going to be coming all the way. The only ones that are going to be staying on top of the hill are going to be like these two bike riders here. The hardcore. And, that's why I'm actually sticking with, some of the videos I put out ain't that important. But, hey, it's a little tip here and there, man. It's something. It's something that kind of like, hey, maybe it jostles your memory about doing something that keeps you busy. And there's a lot of stuff people used to do way back when that they no longer do. Hey, they sit on their lounge chair and they just click a button and they don't make nothing themselves. They just buy it, So, like, I'm sticking the way, I'm being true to this, the way I've been doing stuff, because I think the future of YouTube and Google, when things get tough in the United States, the real future is going to be people that actually do stuff. It's not going to be, look at the cute puppy. Oh. Look at the kid opening up the toys. Look at the gamer. It ain't going to be about that kind of shit. And I say the day of reckoning's coming, because as the United States starts to lose its clout in the world, what's going to happen is there's going to be a major brain drain. And what's going to happen is, too, I notice on this channel I like pushing a lot of made in the USA. But I'm going to tell you, the corporations in the USA that are typically American corporations, they're going to be the first ones to book. They're going to go bye-bye. They're going to say, the hell with this bullshit. They're going to look at the other side and see where it's more lucrative, like Jim Rogers and Mark Farber. I know they talk about silver, gold, and agriculture and shit, but hey, man, they ain't here to freaking for the long haul. They're all about number one and money and making money off other people's mistakes. I'm here for the long haul. And I'll tell you that, as we measure up the situation in the United States, we can see that things come full circle. And what's really going to hold together the United States is cottage industry. That's why I say the day of reckoning's coming. There's going to be a brain drain. There's going to be companies are going to go from American. They're going to just move up, pick up, book, leave, and become foreign because it's more lucrative. And you know what? You're going to see a lot of people just leaving the United States. I think Deagle.com is basically right. I don't know about this 80% reduction in population due to exodus and famine and all that other shit, but I think there's bad times coming, and the day of reckoning is almost upon us. But, the people that are still hardcore and down in nuts and bolts and know how to do shit, they're going to be fine. And we're going to find that I think YouTube's going to change, too. Most of the bullshit, drama, freaking fluff, entertainment, garbage that's actually the most lucrative views out there and trending garbage is going to go out by the wayside, because those kind of people are probably going to be dead. I'm telling you flat out. They're going to be dead. They're going to be dead. They're not going to survive. And if they freaking are concentrating on that shit, reality is going to catch up to their ass, because, where's your next meal coming from? And, this is really why the Russians, when they had their financial collapse in the 1990s, yeah, it was really bad. But if you had some kind of shit like that happen here in the United States, we'd be done. These women need, and I tell you, the American women need to go back to what the hell they've been doing. I know not all of them are screwed up, but for the most part, they're freaking out there in La La Land. Back in the day, it used to be the Susie homemaker knew how to cook, clean, and sew. I'll tell you one thing, man. Those are very important skills, and also how to freaking tune up your motorcycle and work on it and change a tire and adjust that chain. Very important skills too. It's getting to the point now where they don't want to do nothing. They'll have somebody do it for them, or they'll just order it up. But you know what? The reality is catching up with the situation, because the garbage that's been going on for so long, you've been hearing it so long, with the freaking deficit, a trade deficit, and also the budget deficit, and all the debt that we have in government, is going to catch up on us. And when it catches up, it's going to be fast and furious, man. And I know the religious is going to be going, oh, God, it's God's punishment. Oh, and Jesus will come. You know what? I want to tell you what I really think over humankind. I think mankind has been up to higher sophisticated levels probably. The Earth's many, many, many millions of years old. And Darwinism is bullshit. Man's been around pretty much in the same form for a long-ass time. I know that the pyramids, I know that some people say they're 3,000, 4,000 years old, 5,000 years old. I'm going along with the thing that they lined up with the constellation Orion, and they're 13,000 years old. I'm also looking at some of the legends back from India, of airships fighting in the air and shit. I think a lot of that crap is true. We probably were far more advanced on this earth, and civilization destroyed itself, and we went right back to square one. Jesus ain't going to save you. I want to tell you that right now. For you religious people, Jesus is not going to save you. You're going to save you, and anybody that's true blue that's around you can save you. There ain't going to be no man in the sky that's going to save you. That's just how it is. Whether you say, do I believe in something? Yeah, I believe in something. But that don't mean you're going to survive. Got it? So I'm telling you the straight up facts on this deal. The day of reckoning is definitely coming, and we're staring down the headlights. But the drama is not going to be here like in a week. It's been a slow unfolding process. Obama is trying to push his kind of garbage. He's trying to disarm the USA, and I know he's trying to push for Sharia law at the same time. The guy's a total freaking idiot. But, I'm going to tell you, it ain't going to work. It's going to backfire. But, the thing is, when any time there's a hardcore element, like a diamond, it's not like most of the people. It's only 1, 2, or 3% of the people that make all the difference in the world. And I'm going to tell you, that's why I think, along with the freaking economic hardship in the United States that's coming along, you're probably going to see a lot less fluff. And that's why I'm going to tell you, I think YouTube itself is going to change a lot too. It's not going to go away, but it's probably going to gravitate to freaking hands-on practical type of stuff that I put out versus the bullshit that it's out there in La La Land, I mean, it's maybe not so entertaining. I don't try to put it out in an unentertaining way, but the thing is, I'm going to tell you, I notice, I look a lot. I like to look at one channel I always like to look at on YouTube a lot is Southwest Rod and Custom, DIY Auto School. Pete down there north of Dallas, Texas, and I look at some of the auto stuff. I think a Pisser channel is another one I look at sometimes too. But I basically see there's a lot more worth in that, and I personally don't look at like all the bullshit that's out there, 10 biggest fails and 10 biggest stupid things and shit like that. I'm going to tell you, I think that's all going out to freaking by the wayside. Because when it comes down to the big S word, which is survival, not just silver, you're going to find out reality is going to catch up with the situation. And it's going to be just all hands-on work. And that's the only way you're going to get by. And I think what's really going to be where YouTube is going to be important in the future is for a lot of information that people can exchange on how to do things and how to survive in the upcoming economic conflagration that we're going to come into, because there's going to be a total full array of bubbles and Ponzi schemes that are going to totally burst at once. I know you've been hearing it a long time, but don't be, I know some of these religious people will be freaking quoting stuff out of the Bible like they will throw their gold and silver into the dirt and I don't know, whatever the hell they say. And I'm like, listen, asshole, I ain't freaking here to freaking play religious. I'm not here to freaking get rich. I'm here to freaking thrive and survive when the shit comes down, man. That's all there is to it, man. And I'm going to tell you again, I'm not saying that I'm being irreligious, but I'm telling you, Jesus is not going to save you. Get off your ass. That'll save you, okay? And so I'm staying true to the cause on this channel. And but I am not going to put my best shit on here because some of my best shit I don't want some people to know about. And it has to do with defense. I don't want people to know about it in general. But I'm going to tell you, stay true to the cause because, I know the Mike Maloney's out there. He's not too bad, And all these silver people in the suits and the ties telling you about all this bullshit. They're fucking scumbags, okay? I'm just telling you, it's probably, the shit's going to go back to real tangible goods. And there ain't going to be too many people that are going to be around. And I ain't going to give a shit about the beggars, to tell you the truth. I only give a shit about what somebody could do for me. And that means people that either, know their stuff or whatever. I mean, it's not something where it's going to be all a bunch of fluff like it was in the past. As far as like what's going to happen here in the near-term future, I think the markets are going to be coming down a lot in 2015. I think it's going to be in October. I know a lot of people like saying October like it's a big month that always it comes down, but it's probably about right. And there can be shit they can do about it. But, the next thing that's the writing on the wall, as I talked about before, they did approve the Chinese yuan as a special drawing rights world reserve currency. And you know what that means? That means there's going to be a lot more money, which there already is, but there's going to be even more so, money going into the Chinese yuan than a dollar. And also they got problems with the Saudis are no longer selling as much oil to the Chinese. You know why? Because the Chinese made a deal with the Russians. And the Chinese are paying for the oil that they get from the Russians in their Chinese yuan. So that's eliminating the dollar too. The Ponzi scheme is going to start folding, man. And when it does, I'm going to tell you, YouTube's going to change too. It's not going to disappear. It's not going to go away. But the kind of stuff that I'm putting out is going to be more important. And the type of stuff that Pete over at Southwest Rod and Custom puts out, or Pisser Channel or something like that puts out, is going to be a hell of a lot more important. Because it's going to be a matter of, do you know how to do it hands-on? It's not going to be even a matter of like, hey, what's entertaining? Do you really know how to do the shit? And it don't matter if it's something small or it's something complicated. You got to learn. And the only way to learn is hands-on, and it helps to see the actual constructional videos versus reading about it word for word. Because, like I tell you, man, I know it helps me sometimes, too, if I'm trying to figure something out. Because, and a lot of times I don't see these videos on YouTube ever. That's why I put them out, because I'm reading all the technical manuals and the service manuals and all this other bullshit. And it takes me a million years to figure something out, and then I'll go ahead and try it and see what happens, But, it's going to come right down. I think the United States is going to be a very changed place. And, there's still room for cute chicks and puppies. But, it's not going to be the emphasis and a be-all, end-all of everything. And I think YouTube itself is going to change a lot, too. So, I'm sticking true to the cause. Because the future of YouTube, actually, is going to be the hands-on, practical, reliable, dependable, essential things that people need. And we're going to get away from the fluff. So stick with your silver, stick with your guns, stick with your food, stick with your fuel. And I'm going to tell you that the day of reckoning is coming. It's not going to be like a single day. but the time is coming. It's coming and it's rolling in like the tide in waves, and each wave gets a little stronger. The time is coming. No bullshitting around. And I'm going to tell you, get off your ass. Don't freaking get all religious and, hey, Jesus is going to save us and we're going to get zapped up into another freaking realm. And do whatever you want. I know what I'm doing. Oh, by the way, this message was brought to you by Rocky the Cat. And this is Rocky the Cat way back in when he was like airplane ears and hide behind things. Now he's a forthright, stand on his own four paws cat and can defend the freaking fort against any kind of enemies, foreign or domestic. So keep on trucking, Rocky. You could do it, and so can you out there in YouTube land.